contracts and administration, and then mentoring and performance improvement, who's responsible for sales and marketing and brand, etc. Some of it may be, we might have subcontracted external specialist advice in some of those areas, particularly marketing and ICT. And then what's going to be our partner meeting? So that's really the agenda for this. You asked me, what do we do in this day and a half strategic review? Well, we go through the TOWs, SWOT back to front, trends, opportunities, threats and risks. Then we go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we put budgets on the table and work out who, the pattern of meetings, when are we going to meet to review what we've said we're going to do. Now, accountants can do that with their clients.
Yes.
That's what a board of advice is all about. So where are we now? Where do we want to be, and how are we going to get there? That's really what we've just done in that, utilising that framework. And then, so for those accountants who are caught in a compliance trap or feel that they are, what might you do? How is your working life? Rate it out of 10 for me in terms of enjoyment. Be honest. And if you're not 100% happy, let's do something to fix it. How many hours do you want to work, and what type of work do you want to do? This might mean, if you can't get employees to delegate things to and give to, that maybe you've got to say no to some of your clients or sell them off, give them to someone else who will look after them better than you are, and then learn some new skills. Go and talk to a receptive client. I mean, how did I learn to be an external advisory board specialist, facilitating strategic reviews and quarterly progress? I did one. You don't learn to play netball unless you get out on the court.
That's right.
So I found some receptive clients and said, I'd like to try this. Would it be okay? And I did the first few for free. Interestingly enough, all of them said we'd be happy to pay you a fee for that, and they did so. So it's about your attitude and goal setting and work habits. If you want to do something different, you've got to make some decisions and change. Yeah. And I can't do that for you. You've got to do that yourself. So are you happy at the moment? If not, what would you like to do? And could you create some capacity by giving some of your clients, give them to your senior team members, and then go and have a crack at having a conversation. Find a receptive client and ask if you might do a strategic review with them. And then, there's plenty of stuff on the internet that can guide you in how to do this. You've got material in ESS BIZTOOLS.
Yes, we cover all this in ESS BIZTOOls. And
that's what I thought. So, read Measure What Matters. Read, that's about OKRs, objectives and key results, and then it's about communication and feedback. Scaling up is what I talked about. 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson is about attitude management and mental health. And I look at the Daily Stoic, which is a paragraph comes in every day and tells me to extract the digit and get on with it in very pragmatic ways, which I think we all need some encouragement in that direction at times, Peter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I hope that was helpful for your listeners. It's a framework for thinking about, if you're stuck in a trap, what might you do about it? If you can find a receptive client, if you can think about exactly what you're going to offer them, have those conversations, you might be given a crack. Read ESS BIZTOOLS. You've got instructions on all of this in great detail. So I feel for some of my professional colleagues who are really working very hard and struggling to get team members. I know you've got a moral obligation to help your clients, but sometimes letting them go might be the most helpful thing you can do.
For them as well as you.
You've got to help yourself first if you're going to be able to help others.
Yes.
You've got to have the energy to give them in an advisory capacity. And if you're ground down, that's hard to do. So something has to give, and I don't want it to be your health. So this is I know it's a difficult situation to think through, but there were some examples there of firms who are moving in this way, and they have been quite successful, both of which are subscribers to ESS, by the way. I haven't told you who they are, and I will not.
Okay.
They are.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Well, Andrew, thank you very much for this overview of changing from compliance dominance to business advisory services. As always, you've done a very in-depth review, and hopefully our listeners, accountants and bookkeepers, are going to see the light in lots of ways, and they can stay doing e-compliance work if they wish, but there is opportunities to diversify what they're doing in their work. And as you have said previously, and you touched on it a bit today when you talked about when a younger accountant joins them, being mentored by the partner or a senior manager is very important. And we all know that the profession, and like a lot of businesses in Australia, a lot of professions in Australia are having real trouble with talent attraction and retention. I really believe a range of interesting and challenging services, still with the taxation work, most probably for most of those kinds, but not wage earners, will give those younger accountants some interesting and challenging work. But don't do what someone that years ago, Andrew, you knew also, but I did training in his firm for over a year. Every week I'd go down for a day and train and got all his staff ready. But then when all the consulting work started to come in, he wanted to do it all himself. So then he rang me one day and said, geez, 3 of those people you trained have left. I said, well, they're complaining to me, and I told you 2 weeks ago, you've got to delegate some of this work to them. They've been trained to do it. And that's very important also, I think.
Yes. It's another attitudinal thing. Being willing to teach people by having them sit with you and be your shadow. Yes, it's not 100% productive and or chargeable, but you've got to spend some time developing people's skills in a cross-section of activities. Expecting them to work 50 hours a week, unpaid overtime, doing data entry and other coding and matters. Well, would you do it for long? We've got grads who are happy to do that because they also are preparing budgets using Plan Guru or Fathom. They're doing benchmark comparisons. They're putting stuff into B-Star and doing valuations. They're sitting in on strategic planning meetings. So they accept that the basic accounting, data entry and prep tax work that they do is the basis of the information we use to do these other things, and what they're doing is integral to the success of having that client relationship. So we're saying what you do is important, and you've got to learn that, but here's some other stuff as well from the word go.